What's up guys, Captain Ron here with another video. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk to some of the professors, some of the coordinators, and some of the people involved with getting you through the Mopar CAP program. This is the college program that I'm going through to learn how to work on Dodge, Jeep, Ram, that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over and talk to them, give you some information on how you guys can learn to get into the automotive program itself, what you're going to need to know, what you're going to need to do, and what to expect out of this program in particular. So stay tuned. All right guys, with me today is Tom Friels. He is the CAP coordinator for the Mopar CAP program. He is the one that you're going to be talking to most of the time whenever you want to work in the Mopar CAP program. So he's going to talk to us for a few minutes, let you guys know what's expected of you, what's going to be happening, and just some other information will go along with it. So Tom, thanks for being with me. What's your take on the Mopar CAP program as a whole, and what kind of courses will students be looking at whenever they come in here?
So the program as a whole is basically to get you prepared to be a technician in the dealership in the Mopar world. That's Dodge, Ram, Chrysler, Jeep, and basically it's specific training to the models, plus obviously all the theoretical and how things work to go along with it. The advantage of the program is you're getting a lot of training in a short amount of time to get you prepared to making a living as a tech.
So this program is tailored not just for the student who's coming straight out of high school, but also for the student who may have some car knowledge or even be looking for a career change, kind of like myself. So it's geared, not, like I said, not just for the student, but for anybody who wants to get into that sort of line of work.
Correct. I mean, what we would call the traditional student would be right out of high school, and I would say that's the easy one, as far as what the majority of students we get. But plenty of people like yourself that are career change, maybe we're doing something different for a few years and wanted to do this and made the change, had plenty of those successes. Military that were discharged from their military service, they may or may not even had similar experiences, but they need to have the specific factory training, they need to get some certifications. I've had plenty of success with those folks. So yeah, it's not just out of high school, it's just that's a common student of ours. Okay. So yeah, there's plenty of opportunity for anybody.
Now, I know Sinclair isn't the only automotive school, and I know that you may not necessarily have the answer for this, but how would Sinclair compare to other automotive schools that are across the country? Are they going to be somewhat similar in what their programs are, or are they going to vastly be different?
There's a lot of very good schools out there. Most of the schools that are good, if you're looking at a school, depending on where you're at in the country, because we're not talking about just our backyard.
Right.
Look to make sure they're ASC, what we used to call NATEF certified. Make sure they now call it ASE Foundation. Make sure they're that. That way they follow some type of standard in the industry, which is the standard in the industry. If it's a Mopar CAP school, it has to be NATEF and ASE certified.
Right.
That doesn't mean that you just automatically blanket get to be ASE certified yourself. It means that the training program is certified. In other words, they're covering the material, they're doing the tasks in lab that will get you prepared for ASE certification. So that's our accountability, that we follow a standard. On top of that, you're basically, again, with the manufacturer specific and things, but school comparison, our school stacked up to others, it's basically the facility we have is probably better than a lot of facilities. I've worked at other schools, I've been to a lot of schools. Accessibility wise, we're pretty good location wise for in our case, southwestern Ohio, but I pull in students from the entire state, from Indiana, from Kentucky, had a few from Michigan. So that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on. We can pull people from farther away, even though we're just a community college. Our faculty are all certified in everything they teach, whether that's not just ASE, but the program they're in. I'm certified myself in through every skill level in all three levels of Chrysler training or Fiat Chrysler training. We continually do that. I go to training just as much as I did or more as a tech, as a student. We look ourselves as a school. We keep looking for new things to be involved with. We've had 2 federal grants so far, one for hybrid training, one for autonomous vehicle training that we are currently pursuing right now. We're doing a lot of training with autonomous. We're bringing in instructors from other schools to attend our training, which is provided by manufacturers and us as our faculty. That's off the top of my head. Those are
and those are some pretty cool programs, especially with the market, heading in the way of the hybrid and autonomous vehicles. So that's definitely training that people are going to need when they get down the road. So last question for you is, what words of advice would you have for a new student that is wanting to go into straight out of high school, going into any of the programs for that matter? What bit of advice would you give them?
The first bit is to look at a few schools. Don't just go to one school. Don't just come here. If you've got the opportunity, most high school students, as we're talking about that, have an opportunity to take a couple to college days where they can go visit again. Do it. Compare us and compare others. Coming in the program, take it serious. This is not another high school shop class, and that's one of the biggest things. You're going to get out of this what you put into it, and if you put everything into it, you're going to come out very successful. The best thing that I do right now, or one of the most rewarding things I do now, is when I go and visit dealerships of students that I currently have. I'm seeing graduates that I've had going back 6, 7, maybe 8 or more years, and they're successful. They're buying houses and big toolboxes and having babies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's rewarding. That shows that it works. But also I know that it works because those folks put the work in on the front end to get the reward on the back end.
Yep.
So be prepared. You got to buy tools. That's the nature of the business. Yes, you need the book. Yes, you need your safety glasses today. Yes. There's just take it seriously, and it'll work out for you very well.
It's great advice. So, all right, guys, with me right now is Justin Morgan. He is the chairperson for the automotive program here at Sinclair. So he's going to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the programs that they have here, more specifically the Mopar CAP program, and what you guys can expect out of that from him. So, Justin, thanks for taking a few minutes with me.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about you and your position here at Sinclair.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I'm the chairperson of Automotive Technology. I have been since 2013. I've been a full-time faculty member since 2005. I've taught in the Mopar CAP program since about 2007. Taught Introduction to Electrical, Advanced Electrical, Brakes, and Air Conditioning are some of the topics I've covered in the Mopar CAP program. So kind of been an instructor. Now I oversee all of the programs here at Sinclair.
Okay, cool. As for the Mopar program itself, what's your thoughts on the program itself?
So it's a great way for a dealer basically to get a trained technician for level 2 technician, which I think is really important. Trained in certifications basically for Mopar CAP is important. At the same time, a student gets out of it practical experience. They get to work at a dealership. They get the training that goes along with that, and after 2 years, they're level 2 certified. So that's a win for the student. That's a win for the dealership, in my opinion. Okay. And a student has a good, sound background as an entry-level technician with level 2 certifications.
Awesome. And then as for your students that actually come through the Mopar CAP program, what's the success rate? I mean, how often are people getting out of the school, getting out of the CAP program, and continuing on with their careers?
Yeah, so most of the students that graduate from our programs are going to be 100% placement. I mean, usually, we might have one student that's still, looking for a job potentially around graduation or wanting to move because of, life reasons. Mm-hmm. But, usually if the students persist after the first semester, it's about 100% placement rates for all of our Mopar students.
And that's fantastic.
Awesome.
That's, you look at some of the more, broad college courses. Success rate isn't even that. I mean, sometimes it's not even 50%, or even placement's 50%. So having 100% placement, after graduation, that is something incredible. So
And I think the cool part about that is, you get the internship back and forth at the dealership. The students get to figure out if the dealer's a good fit, and the dealer gets to figure out if the student's a good fit early on in the program. So we try to, if we have to, we move students around within those first 2 years, but hopefully by the time we're getting close to the graduation point, the student's ready to locked in and staying at that dealership.
Right, and that's awesome. What's your thoughts on Sinclair as a community college as a whole?
I mean, I think the best thing about Sinclair as a community college is it serves the community. We have different programs besides the Mopar CAP program, which maybe we'll talk about in the future, but it serves the local need for basically people that want to become aspiring service technicians, whether it's through the Mopar CAP program or other programs. There's young people that need to be trained basically so they can be better prepared for their job. You can certainly go on the job and learn this, but it takes 5 to 7 years, in my opinion, to really get to that level of where you're at within 2 to 3 years of our program. And so I think that's one of the benefits of Sinclair here in the Dayton region.
Okay. And as for, hang on, lost train of thought. Okay. And as for like a student that comes in, what's some of the biggest advice that you can give a student coming into any of the programs for that matter, but more specifically the CAP program?
So in the Mopar CAP program, I think it's early to identify a dealership that you might be interested in, and think about maybe trying to go there and work as a senior. So if you want to maybe start off, if you're 17 years of age and you're passionate about Mopar vehicles, and is maybe starting there as a lube tech, or maybe starting there washing cars, get your foot in the door, and then start doing some entry-level stuff like oil changes and progressing through that way, and then maybe go through a career center for automotive technology. If you don't, you can still come to our college and come in with basically no experience and no skill and get a job in the automotive industry as a Mopar CAP student.
Okay. Trying to think of what the other questions were, so I can edit all this other stuff out.
Sure. I know how
Is there any other information you want to give?
I think for the young people, the most important thing is just work ethic and attitude. You can have relatively low skill, and we can help you basically obtain the skill. The dealership is there to support you with that. But really, just being there every day, on time, with a positive attitude is what managers need nowadays. They need people that have that positive and that grit, basically, to stick it out and make sure that they're there with a positive attitude and work ethic. That's really what it boils down to, because if you're not naturally talented or you've not been around in cars, we can help you. That's what we're here for. It's the other parts that you need to bring into this program.
As for the faculty that you have here working in and teaching the Mopar CAP program, what kind of qualifications do they have to be able to teach the students themselves?
So they at least have to be level 2 certified in the area that they're teaching. So if you're brakes, you're teaching level 2 certification through FCA or Chrysler. Most of our faculty are certified basically in at least 3 or 4 areas. Mr. Frios, of course, the CAP coordinator, is at the highest. He's at level 3 across the board, and so that's awesome for our program. And basically myself, Mr. Frios, and some of our other folks here in the department have actually taught at the training center. So they've been actually a contracted trainer to help support with the Chrysler technicians here in the Cincinnati region as well. So I think that speaks to the professionalism and the skills that our faculty have here. They're also ASE Master Certified, which is also important, I believe.
That's awesome. So obviously, Sinclair is not the only automotive school that is out there. I know you're kind of biased to Sinclair, but what is your thoughts of how Sinclair stacks up against other automotive schools that would teach the Mopar CAP program, or any automotive program for that matter?
So I mean, regionally based, it makes sense. If you're in Washington State or a different state, there's CAP programs throughout the nation, which is awesome. For the Ohio-based region here, we're the Mopar CAP school. And I think we've actually been named top Mopar CAP school. 2004, 2005 range is when that happened. Probably about the time I was actually getting hired here. And so, it's a nationally recognized automotive program, not only just for the whole program, but the CAP program. And I think that speaks to itself. I don't have to speak on its behalf when it says that. But, I think the importance is basically going through any kind of automotive program is getting additional training to further your skill set so you're more valuable to the employer, and then compensation comes along with that. And that's where I think any kind of training is going to be important if you're going to go into kind of automotive as a profession. Whether you learn on the job and then you need to go to level 1 and level 2 through FCA, that's important as well. So just continuing education, period, is important. So even though we get students at level 2 certified, you need to, as a graduate, you'll need to go on to get level 3 certification, which we've talked about that. So.
Yeah, and that's definitely something I'm going to be working on once I get done with my portion of the CAP program as well. So,
I got one last thing to add.
Sure, go ahead.
So I think that one thing that the Mopar CAP program and any program does is work-based learning, basically, which is your internship. So you go to school to 8 weeks, and then you get to apply what you learn at school. You get to apply what you learn in our program at school. And I really feel like that's the most important thing of our program. That's what sets our program apart from other programs. And quality programs have that. You basically, you have internship experience. So you're getting practical experience, you're getting paid, you're getting college credit. All that's very important in my opinion.
Yeah, and I agree with that because I've actually witnessed that firsthand. There'd be 8 weeks that I'd be here at school learning something. I'd get back to the shop, and that exact thing would pop up, and I'm like, hey, I just learned about this. So it actually does come in handy. So
I think even when I had you in electrical class, we'd actually
something
happen over the weekend. You worked on a car like a Saturday morning, and we'd just done some stuff the week before where it really applied. So, and I think that's important.
It is very important. So Justin, I appreciate you taking a few minutes with me. I hope you all enjoyed what Justin had to say. Next up, we're going to go talk to Mr. Miller and find out what he has to say. So let's go find him. All right, so with me I got Ralph Miller. He's one of the professors here at Sinclair that works in the Mopar CAP program. So Ralph, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm an associate professor of automotive technology here at Sinclair. I teach the Mopar CAP program, as mentioned, and also the Honda PAC program, as well as a comprehensive program that deals with all of vehicles.
Okay. And about how long have you been working with the Mopar CAP program itself?
I've been teaching the Mopar program for about 2.5 years. I've been teaching here for 5 years and worked here at Sinclair for about 9.
Okay. Okay, so as your time has been here, have you seen a lot of big changes in the Mopar CAP program itself?
I think Chrysler is moving into hybrid vehicles and electric vehicles. That's what their future is happening. So there's rapid advancements in that technology. And we're seeing a lot of that technology across the automotive industry change. So that's probably the newest technology that's happening in the last 5 years. On top of that technology, we still have body electrical systems and general maintenance and engine repair that we still have to take care of.
Right. So as for Sinclair, what do you think of Sinclair as a community as a whole?
I think it's a great place to learn. I think the technology that we have here and the tools is very hard to match, especially at the price point that Sinclair gives us. Private schools may offer the same stuff, but it's going to be double the price. So I think as far as class size, I think we have a nice class size where we can give one-on-one instruction and also give you the same technology that you can get somewhere else.
Gotcha. Now, obviously, you're going to be a little bit biased because
it is the best.
Because you're because it is the best, but it's also because it's Sinclair. How do you think Sinclair matches up with the other automotive colleges that are out across the nation?
Well, what's nice about having the Mopar CAP program is it is a curriculum that any CAP program has to follow. So regardless, we are doing the same program that any other CAP school is going to do. So the curriculum is the same. And honestly, I think our instructors are as good or better as anybody else. So we have great resources and great curriculum and great cost to go along with that.
Yeah. And as you guys saw from the video I posted last week when I did the tour of Sinclair, we do have a pretty awesome facility here. So that is one huge benefit for the students that come here, is that they've got all the tools that they need to be able to learn everything they need to learn in the Mopar CAP program. If you had to give some advice to a new student or someone who's even going through a career change and wanting to get into the automotive industry, what kind of advice would you give them getting into automotive school?
Well, what I would say to them is have a passion for what you're doing. Whether it's a passion for making money and being good at your career, or a passion for automotive. You don't have to be a car guy to be a good technician, but honestly, it probably does help. If you have a passion for it coming in, you're going to want to learn, and if you want to learn, you're going to do better at that. I personally am a car person. I always have been. So I teach automotive, I go home and I work on cars, and then I play with cars when I'm not doing that. So it's enveloped me, it's engulfed my life, but that's not something that has to be for everybody. But you have to have a passion for learning, or at least be good at a passion for wanting to learn and be better at what you're doing.
Right. Ralph, do you have anything else you want to add?
All I would say is come check out our place. We have a lot to offer, and it's very, very affordable, but that doesn't mean it's a cheap education. It's a very quality education, and it is a field that is in great need. As you probably know, every dealership is looking for qualified people to come and take the retiring, aging workforce's place. So if you want a career that basically, if you're good and have any personal drive to be better, you're going to have a job as long as you want it. And so the training that you get here will help you leapfrog, the guy off the street and get you a better paying job right off the bat.
Absolutely. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks, Ralph, again for taking a few minutes to talk to us. So, guys, that's pretty much what you guys need to know to be able to get into the Mopar CAP program. We talked with 3 of the professors, very highly knowledgeable professors. They know what they're doing, they know what needs to be done, and they know what's good for you to get into these programs and be successful. So make sure you guys check out Sinclair. We'll put the website right here if you guys want to go check them out, or go online and just search for your local Mopar CAP program college. They're all across the nation. Every one of them is going to be pretty much the same. Granted, this one's going to be a little bit better because, me and Rust Belt go here. But all seriousness, all of them are going to be awesome opportunities for you to get into the automotive program and be successful. So next week, we're going to talk to the people who are in charge of the Honda program, so that if you want to go into a different program that's not Mopar, I'm going to give you guys the information that you're going to need to know to get to talk to the people that you need to know. So Mopar and the ASEP program are going to be next 2 weeks. Again, we're going to talk to them. I don't know if they're going to be in that order. Might flip them around. Just all depends on scheduling. But be sure to keep tuned. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, so that you guys know when my videos come out and you guys can get some pretty cool information about some awesome schools. So until next time, Captain Ron checking out. We'll see you later.